I know what you're thinking. I know. Flash being a good movie, this buffoon, this freak. Get out of my comment section. Stop. Scroll up. Thank you. Hear me out. Also, yes, I know I'm covered in sweat. I just got home from work. I've been serving ice cream all day. So excuse the fact that I look like a 14-year-old kid going through puberty whose pores are opening up for the first time. I'm here to talk about the Flash movie, and more specifically, the good things in it. I think it was actually not as bad of a movie as Twitter put it out to be. But, yeah, that's what this video is. Watch it. And also, hit the like button. This is not a request, it's a threat. And maybe subscribe. I don't know if you want to. Now, anyways, back to the video. Now, first, I will recognize the CGI in the movie was bad. It was bad. There's no way of arguing against that. But there were some takes I saw online about the CGI making the movie just terrible, and I disagree. There are movies we've watched in the past that are classics to us that have been... that have some of the worst CGI I've ever seen in my life. And you could argue things like, I don't know, Spy Kids, Shark Boy and Lava Girl, and you may be like, Evan, those came out in the early 2000s. Okay. So did you. Unless you were born in the 2010s. What are you, you freak? Oh my god. Also, please ignore the tail in my lap. My cat decided to sit in my lap for recording right now because she has nothing better to do right now. It's fine. She's a cutie. Her name's Storm. Look, you know what? Here. Look at this goober. Look at this goofball. Say something to them. That's great. All right, now back to the Flash. Sorry, I got off topic for a second. Also, I'm gonna throw out there will be spoilers. I don't feel like adding a non-spoiler section. I just want to talk about all the things I liked about the movie, and unfortunately, that's gonna contain spoilers. So if you haven't seen the movie or you don't care to be spoiled, your warning is here. There it is. It's on the screen. Just kidding. I'm not editing something in because I'm lazy. First of all, something I want to add. I really liked the motive that it came with Barry trying to save his parents, trying to save his mom specifically. I thought that was kind of a good emotional drive. When I went in, I thought it was gonna be like the dumbest, like, reasoning ever, which, to be fair, it was based off the Flashpoint paradox, so of course it was gonna be about saving his mom, but I think they did it really well. I don't know, I was emotionally wrapped up in it. I thought it was cool. I shed a tear. Just kidding. I didn't. It wasn't that emotionally involving, but I feel like they did it better than some other DC projects as of lately, which I will commend. I don't think it's the worst one. Another thing I think the movie did really well, in my personal opinion, is I really like the dynamic between the old Flash and the young Flash. I feel like it worked really well, because I feel like if it was just Flash dealing with all these problems and trying to find Batman and Michael Keaton, by the way, I have more to say about him, and Kara Zor-El, it would have been a little boring. I think having the two Flashes bicker and interact with each other, as well as getting to see Flash, like, get his powers, was good. I think that was a really good dynamic in the movie, so I give it points to that. I'm talking about positives. I know there are negatives. I know there are weird things throughout the movie that didn't make sense. In fact, there was a big plot hole I will explain at the end, but overall, I think that was good. I think that was nice. Also, one more thing before I talk about the cameos. I think a pretty interesting thing was the portrayal of time travel in the movie. Every movie does time travel differently. Like, and it's a big obsession as of lately. I mean, we see everyone doing dimensional and time travel. It seems to be the kind of current craze alongside superhero movies. And I think the way that they portrayed the multiverse as, like, and the time verse, the fourth dimension, as this, like, staircase in, like, a big circle was pretty cool, because I'm not gonna go off on a big long rant about it, but I always love the portrayal of, like, there's 2D, 3D, and there's like a 4D, which is time, and that's something that you can witness. I don't know, I'm not gonna go deep into that. Sorry, I'm nerding out. It's so stupid. But yeah, I think it was pretty interesting the way that they portrayed it. However, cameos, this is the cool part. There are good and there are sort of bad, and I see a lot of people complain about certain bad things. I'll talk about the bad first. I think it was kind of bad how they brought back dead actors with CGI in the movie. However, they didn't give them voice lines. They didn't use, like, AI vocoders to talk for them. They didn't really do anything. It was almost just an image of them standing there. Like, there was an older Superman. I don't know the actor's name. Please don't murder me, DC fans. I grew up as a Star Wars and semi-Marvel fanboy, but I'm commending the movie for what I like. Also, the Nicolas Cage Superman was really bad. That was just dog shit. I don't really know what they were thinking adding that. I feel like they could have at least gotten the actor at all. Like, the CGI was so bad. It looks like they didn't even actually get Nicolas Cage's okay for that scene. I think they just took an image off of him, Google Images, and used, like, a Snapchat filter on Superman and added long hair for some reason. That was bad. that was just, I don't even want to add any more on that. But to be fair, it was one scene where they were just peering into a universe. I feel like they literally only did that for laughs, but it was not good. Now, on the good side of cameos, I think it goes without saying, Michael Keaton was, he stole the show as a Batman. I felt hyped watching him as Batman because I knew he was hyped being able to be Batman again. I know that he loved playing Batman, and so being able to see him go, I'm Batman, and being able, I loved his intro scene with him like retired. I thought that was really interesting. I liked that. Points to that. It was a bit silly. I saw a spoiler for how he dies with the, and this is of course a spoiler, how he dies with the plane crashing into the ship and exploding, and I just saw that as a spoiler of him crashing, and I was like, why doesn't he eject? And watching the movie, you get to that explained. His ejector's broken. It literally tells you the ejector's broken, and that doesn't even like become a consistent problem because Flash is able to walk back in time and fix it. And that opens up a whole other thing, which I think is really interesting with the time stuff that I'll talk about in a second. But I'm happy that that wasn't as stupid as Michael Keaton dying because he didn't eject from his seat. Another thing I thought was cool about the alternate universe with Michael Keaton's Batman is that in like his movies, there aren't any super powered beings. It's just Batman fighting his bat enemies, which tends to be common in Batman movies. I mean, with Robert Pattinson, there wasn't any superheroes. It's just Pattinson's Batman versus his like gangs and rivals. So I thought it was cool that there were no superheroes in that universe because that was already a canon thing, aside from Kara Zor-El, because she was locked in a Russian prison, so of course she wouldn't make a cameo in the Batman movies. But yeah, I thought that was pretty well done. I thought that was unique and kind of stick to a canon in a way, so that was exciting. We like that. I'm sorry, I've been playing with a Pokeball this entire. Look, it has the little autism buttons on it. I can't keep. Also, seeing the young Flash like start to meld with the Kryptonian metal, and it like became a weapon on him. And then it ended up being him that was the big villain that was jumping through time and everything was really, I didn't actually expect, I expected it, but not in the way that it was portrayed. I thought that was pretty cool. The fact that he was like old and going through time over and over again for like so much time that he aged, I think that was unique and pretty interesting in a way. Although that's where I bring up the thing that I was going to discuss, a plot hole. So it was the young Flash / then old Flash that had pushed our Flash out of this timeline into his timeline. But if he was never pushed into his timeline, he never would have met the young Flash, so they would have never interacted, so he would have never started that time loop. I don't know where that works. Time travel's weird. I mean, there's the whole spaghetti theory with the alternate reality being split. I don't know. That was weird. And a bit of a plot hole to me. If anyone wants to explain that away in the comments, go ahead, if you actually watched the movie. But I thought that was really interesting. And to finish things up, I liked George Clooney's little cameo at the end. I don't know if, like, he's going to be the new Bruce Wayne / Batman of James Gunn's DCU, because I know James Gunn's trying to restart the DCU with Blue Beetle and all that. I don't know if they're going to take George Clooney as the new Batman, or if they literally did that as a cameo to end this current DCU to start a new one with James Gunn. Although this was directed by a director that's in James Gunn's little circle. So maybe that's canon now. Maybe this is a new thing. But overall, a pretty okay movie. I know there were issues. There were definitely problems. But I think that it's getting way more hate than it deserves. Although I want to know your input. I'm curious what any of the people who watch this video whose eyes are witnessing my screen right now think. Because I honestly thought it wasn't that bad, but I could definitely be open to hear some criticisms and some opinions. But yeah, that's about it for now. Thank you for watching this short little rant about me talking about a movie that I thought was interesting. I'm trying to do more movie reviews on my channel, but yeah, I don't want to hold you guys with a million-year outro. Subscribe if you're new. Like the video. It's pretty cool. Of course, comment. I love seeing your comments. And as always, adios, arrivederci, goodbye, and